Hey, Ryan here. So I might not be all that nice in this video. You're not a good person. I know you like to think that you are, but you're not. Here's why. Life is ultimately a balance between good and bad. Light and dark. Life, death. It's a balance between the two. We have to have both. So let's say for a moment that light is good and dark is bad. It's not quite how it works, because I don't really like the terms good and bad because they're kind of misnomers. And most people want to identify with their light. They want to be seen as a good person. I am a good person. But in order for me to be a good person, that means that I have to not be a bad person. Pretty simple concept, right? And that's what scares people. Is that if I consider any part of who I am or any possibility that I could be mean or hurtful or abusive or aggressive or violent, that challenges any notion that I am a good person. I mean, how can I be a good person if I have all these dark parts of myself? I'm a good person. So what we do is we reject any part of ourselves that could be seen as bad. But life doesn't work that way. And neither do you. Like I said already, life is made up of good and bad, light and dark. And so are you. You're made up of light and dark, good and bad. And first of all, when you reject a part of yourself, like the dark side that you don't want to look at, you're actually rejecting yourself. Not just a part of yourself, you're actually rejecting yourself. You will never be 100% embodied in who you are if you reject those darker aspects of yourself that you don't like that make you human. Secondly, that dark side, when you try to push it down and push it down and push it down and push it down and ignore it, it will come out. It's part of you. It will come out whether you want it to or not. Whether you like it or not, it will come out. And it'll come out in unconscious ways. You'll be passive aggressive. You'll show contempt. You'll cheat on your partners. You'll use jealousy. You'll coerce people. Maybe you'll become physically violent and not realize it and not understand why. And then apologize to your partner. And then be violent again. Maybe you become abusive. Maybe you share dirty secrets that people have shared with you. Maybe you share naked photos that you're not supposed to. And you might even be thinking, I'm doing this to get back at this person. This is justice. You have this self-righteous indignation. That's just your dark side coming out. All those aspects of yourself that you've rejected. And maybe this dark side doesn't come out in this way. Maybe it comes out in self-destructive behaviors. Maybe you become addicted to drugs. Or you start dating abusive partners who treat you like crap. When you reject all of that darkness, it's gonna find a way out. So the truth is that we all have darkness in us. And that doesn't make you bad. What makes you good or bad is based on your day-to-day choices. But if you reject any notion that you could be bad or that you could have a dark side to you, then you're about as dangerous as a 4-year-old with a gun. So the question is, how do we reconcile this darkness? How do we become a good and compassionate person in spite of this dark side to who we are? The truth is, it comes down to choice. But you can't make that choice if you don't know the other option. And when is it important to be good? Sure, it's important to be good on a day-to-day basis, but it's crucially important to be good and compassionate when you don't want to be. Compassion doesn't matter when things are going well. That's just normal. Compassion only matters when you don't want to give it. But how can you show compassion to someone when they've hurt you or done something dark? Well, by understanding those aspects of yourself that are dark. That doesn't mean you have to agree with those parts. It doesn't mean you have to like those parts. It doesn't mean you have to lead your life with them. You simply have to understand them and accept them. Remember here, you have a choice. If you truly want to give compassion and be a good person to others, you need to first learn how to show compassion to yourself. And when you can show compassion to the darkest parts of yourself that you hate, that you don't even want to look at, that's when you can actually show genuine compassion for the darkness in others. And that's how you make that choice to be a good person. Because you can show compassion in that moment when you don't really want to. Because you can recognize in them all the ways that you are manipulative, coercive, abusive, or violent, or destructive. because you can recognize all the ways that you could behave, but you choose to be the good person that you like to think of yourself as. So if you like to think that you're a good person, I'd like to invite you to do some self-reflection and really consider all the ways that you're a vindictive, aggressive, self-righteous, manipulative asshole. And if you can understand those parts of yourself and show compassion to them, it's from there that you'll discover how to truly be a good person. Thanks.